Hello and welcome to BlueGirlsVideo podcast. I have dreams for you today for June of 2023, Texas. This dream was clear. There was a rude man, another rude person. The date 25th and 26th, I was on Amtrak station sitting on a bench next to a black woman. I asked her, so what's Texas like? We were the only two people at the station. Also, I had my new tote bag for personal items on flights, Cuzin and MIA. The dream starts out of my floating around in the ocean. I do not recognize the scenery in most of the stream. First, I was at my cousin's and her husband's place. They were not living at the apartment complex, but had their own place. The cousin was contemplating going to Colorado. Later, was sitting in the front room with her husband, and we're not really talking to each other like in real life. So then I thought, since my cousin isn't going to Colorado, I like to go to Miami. I thought this is a little odd since in real life I haven't really had much interest in visiting Miami, although the area, the architecture in the 1920s or 1930s would be super cool. Now I'm reading this stuff fast because I'm having some difficulty with my video. I don't know if I think it's the internet being so slow, but it could be that I don't have much space. I don't know, because it's really never done this before, so I'm just like going as fast as I can, and I usually say things like what I remember, but I just can't do that. Lazy. I'm sitting down with a professional guy at his desk. It might be an interview, I'm not for sure. He was short spiked hair and swearing and wearing a suit. So he tells me that I am lazy. I think I respond with, yeah, I am. I'm wondering if this is a conversation between two guys or something regarding me. Then the dream switches and the dream switches and I am something around a tote bag. I am carrying a tote bag. An African-American woman wants some documentation from me. Also, my deceased neighbor, or from a long time ago in Dream, Virginia, is around. A different cousin. One of my twin cousins was in a room with me, and a couple of other people we seemed to be spending the night there. My twin cousin and possibly a friend or another cousin left for some reason. The owner of the place was meek looking, a guy who had a couple of kids and wife. He mentioned how she wasn't that social. Santa Fe and near water. A couple of days ago I had a dream of Santa Fe. Last night I had a dream of a young teenage girl who was near water with boats. Later at night, other people around, mainly women, teenagers, they were going to go camping, and the young teenage girl didn't want to go camping, and I don't think she had sufficient gear, so her mom came to pick her up. Not paying attention. An older woman brought a younger woman and myself, a couple of nearby stores, one being a bookstore. For some reason I was carrying around a journal that used to do something, these dreams. It's pretty bad if you can't read your own handwriting. I stopped to grab a Diet Coke, but they were sold out, so I grabbed a green iced tea instead. I wasn't paying attention when I walked off with a book written by a minister. Oddly enough, I don't even recall carrying the book. I didn't notice the book until I arrived at home. I thought about bringing back the book and telling them that I even applied for a job there, but in the end, I felt like this would cause me more complications. I remember in the dream thinking over and over again, it's a minister, the book. So I told myself that would not go into the store again. Afterwards, I was at a young woman's place and we were sitting on her couch. She showed me this really cool nail polish that she got while traveling to San Francisco. Anyway, an Asian woman, I don't know, was living there as well. She came downstairs from her room and was completely naked. She sat on the couch for a short moment of time and then went back upstairs to her room. Seeing a night rainbow, and this is kind of cool. My mom and aunt were both alive in this dream. They were living in separate places. I was at my mom's place, and so was my youngest brother. No, and he looked younger. My mom said something very cruel to me, which is not my mom at all. So I think it was an attack during this night dream. I think the next day she felt a little bad about it. I recall saying the truth of the matter is I'm disabled. Then at nighttime, I walked outside the house and am at a night rainbow along with the stars. It was right in front of me. I was at my friend's place and she was sitting on a couch and his girlfriend was sitting in her chair. The place had different furniture. I got impatient and did not want to stay long, so decided to leave. In the afternoon, there was some kind of kind of event going on, and recall seeing a young woman with bleach blonde hair. God, I hate that. I don't like being rushed or whatever, and I can't even read my own fucking handwriting, man. Strangers and brothers. I awoke with having a difficulty breathing. I'm not for sure why that would be an issue since I don't smoke. I was hanging out at this young blonde woman's place. We couldn't decide on a fun activity to do. She wanted to go to my friend's place, but her friends, I didn't feel like being social. So she told me that she had a degree in economics and finances or something like that. I was trying to remember the numbers of the street address to something childhood residence, to my former child, and eventually did remember. I felt sad when found out townhomes were not there anymore, which isn't true in reality. I could have missed an opportunity. Earlier, both my older and oldest brother were in dream. My deceased oldest brother was incarcerated for some reason. He had long, scraggly looking hair, and I did not see his face. He was sitting at a long white table in the dining area. It didn't look like my brother at all. Whenever I have dreams about him, it's regarding his birth date in April. My older brother had a mischievous smile on his face and sold his house and was living in a different house. My former aunt-in-law was in dream, looked different, really skinny. Also, people were mean, not the blonde woman, but everyone else. Floating. A young boy is standing in brown, murky water. A piece of yellow paper and another item slowly, and it floats to the top. Also, almost forgot, but was walking with a friend, New York. I was telling her about how someone wanted to have me sponsor their jewelry line. Conversation. I was standing in a food line and had a conversation with a Mexican guy working there. We were chatting. He wanted to start a new business or a new job, possibly a meat plant. That means to meet somebody. I seemed to be helping him a little bit since the job or whatever was in New Mexico. I told him that having been to New Mexico in 10 years, actually it's been longer, now more like 15 years. The next day I saw this Mexican woman at some place that went into real life. That's true. I saw her, she had a t-shirt that said New Mexico. Also, kids were playing outside. I remember this young African-American girl with frizzy hair was in a large toy bucket with wheels. I was going to tell her the games my friends and I used to play outside when we were kids. Yeah, so when I was growing up, they didn't have the internet. We would do our homework, we would eat dinner together, and go outside. Saying again, I've had a dream of this place before. A worker always has a place, a woman always has a place to stay through a former manager. Again, she shows up right after a guy just left. It's just a room and no kitchen. Her former manager does something. Doesn't seem too thrilled to see her again, but will always help her. She has to go down for an area or something for this small town. Okay, so this is the last one. Girl getting placed. Both a young girl and another woman were in similar situations. The young girl wanted to apply for a place in a northern direction, but really didn't have the money. The other woman secretly just got paid, but wouldn't financially assist the young girl. It might have been out of jealousy because the woman was also looking for a place herself. Another reason being the young girl nor her family helped this woman one time before. The young girl's parents agreed to help her, and the woman thought she'll probably get the place and I'll get shit. Okay, so July 14, 2023, there isn't a title for this. My older brother took me out to eat at a barbecue place. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so thank you for listening.